And we are back here on the KRON 4 Morning News following a developing story, well, a breaking one here this morning. I'm just getting a Google Earth map here set up for you to kind of show you where we're talking about here. There's a plane crash in American Canyon, and well, I don't have it quite prepped just yet, but here's the lay of the land in any case. So this is American Canyon. Here's Highway 29, and up north of here is Highway 12. Well, this plane crash happened just west of Highway 129 in this vicinity right here, off in the hills there at the end of Watson Street. The Napa County Sheriff's Department, the CHP, CAL FIRE, they're all on the scene right now. And basically what happened was at 4:35 this morning, a small aircraft, possibly a Cessna, left Napa Airport. They shortly thereafter lost contact on the radar. They've been looking around for it. Well, at 4:43, the CHP got reports from motorists on the roadways out there calling on their cell phones saying they were seeing flames up in the hills just west of American Canyon. So they went out there, they took a look, and lo and behold, they did find what looks to be a crash scene here. So they're out there investigating it right now. Again, this occurred just west of Highway 29 and south of Highway 12. And yeah, it's kind of tough to make it out here. We'll get a better map for you coming up momentarily. But again, we have live crews. We've got news crews, I should say, headed there. We hope to have some live reports coming up momentarily. But in case you've just joined us, we're getting reports of a plane crash here in American Canyon. Again, here just west of the city of American Canyon, up in the foothills here. Just west of 29, south of Highway 12. George Rask is actually standing by in the traffic center this morning. Again, no major impact on Highway 12 because this all happened across the way, but it was the CHP who got first word of this, George.
That's right, James, which is how we found out about it in the traffic center. As is often the case, cell phone callers will report a problem, and whenever you dial 911 from a cell phone, it gets routed automatically to the California Highway Patrol. So even though it was not a traffic incident, they took the first emergency calls, the first of which came in at 4:34 with a report of a ball of fire up in the hills here at the top of Paolio Loop Road. I'll apologize to local residents about my pronunciation there. And then as we continued to track the CHP log of subsequent reports, we began to notice that there was the possibility that a Mayday had been issued, that there was a plane missing that had taken off out of Napa County Airport, which is located right here, and that Oakland Center, which would have tracked the plane after it took off, they reported that they were searching for an airplane. And then when CAL FIRE arrived on scene, they confirmed to both the Sheriff's Office and the California Highway Patrol that they were dealing with a plane crash. So that's the information that we have. The other information we have is that according to the California Highway Patrol and the Sheriff's Office, there is no impact on traffic right now. It's not affecting the ride on Highway 29. No delay. So that's a very good commute. James.
All right, George, thank you very much. 5:34. Let's also update you on the other developing story this morning, this one in Southern California. Here you have live shots on the left-hand side inside a hangar there at Burbank Airport, and on the right-hand side, KTLA's chopper giving us a shot of the moon. What they're actually looking for is the airplane that's carrying Bay Area journalists Una Lee and Laura Ling and former President Bill Clinton. It should be landing shortly and arriving at that hangar that you see on the left-hand side. And when it does, we'll get our first glimpses now of both journalists back on American soil. They have a podium set up. The two will make some comments. Not sure if President Clinton will make any comments either, but we'll obviously be looking for that. This is video of the two as they basically boarded that private jet in North Korea, waiting to come home. And there you see at the top of the stairs, former President Bill Clinton greeting them, shaking their hands, and obviously being thankful that everybody's coming home safe and sound. We did get reports that there were a lot of tears in that plane as the flight made its way back across the Pacific towards the western coast of the U.S. And again, it's scheduled to land here momentarily at Burbank Airport. We've got live pictures obviously inside that hangar, and as soon as the aircraft lands and the two journalists become visible in the hangar, we'll bring that story to you live as it happens. Some good news there. All right, 5:35 the time. Also this morning, Governor Schwarzenegger is applauding the pardon of Laura Ling and Una Lee. He came out yesterday, said that he and his wife Maria are joining all Californians in celebrating their release. The governor applauded the negotiators who worked to free the two women. In fact, he had a written statement, and in it he said of the two journalists that they risked their lives to search for truth in an area of the world where the press is often censored, and so he congratulated them for that. Vigils, of course, have been held all throughout the state, including the state capitol. Let's go back out to KTLA's live picture. I'm just getting word that we might have images now of that plane approaching the hangar. And there you see it zeroing in on a portion of the sidewalk just outside the hangar. Some commotion beginning to build out there. And so the thinking is that maybe they might be approaching. I don't know. We'll take a look here. Of course, the journalists have been missing since, well, they went missing in March. That's when North Korean officials arrested them on the northern border there of the country between North Korea and China. They were quickly, obviously, brought into custody. They had a rather fast trial. It lasted less than a day, and the North Korean judge found them to be guilty of crimes against the state there. And so they were sentenced to 12 years of hard labor at a prison camp in North Korea. The negotiations have been going on back and forth. Of course, the United States has no official diplomatic relations with North Korea, so a lot of our back and forth has been going through the Swiss embassy there in North Korea. Long story short, President Bill Clinton went out there yesterday, secured their release, and they're on a flight back. We'll come back to these live pictures when we get confirmation that they've landed and are approaching the hangar. In the meantime, let's get over to the Weather Center right now, where Drew Harmon's standing by with a look at your forecast for this Wednesday morning. Good morning, Drew.
Good morning, James. Today is definitely a case of more of what we saw yesterday. You'll see a little bit more sun, a little less mild conditions there as well. James?
All right, Drew, thank you very much. 5:40 is the time. We've got to take a quick break, but we'll be back in just a moment with our two breaking stories. One, a plane crash here in the Bay Area. A Cessna aircraft crashed in American Canyon this morning. We'll have the latest on that. And the other story we're following as well is the return of two Bay Area journalists, Yuna Lee and Laura Ling. Live pictures from inside a hangar here at Burbank Airport. We expect them to make their entrance here momentarily. We'll bring it to you live when it happens. Stay with us.